Let me hold your hand and teach you how to manipulate your darts properly. So I promise to be dropping fish tutorials here on TikTok 2 times in a week. So here is part 1 for this week. So today we are going to be drafting darts manipulation. Now the first thing you need to do, you need to first of all you need to draft your basic bodies, which is what I'm about to do now. So for you to draft your basic bodies, the first thing you need to do is you need to get your borderline. For me, I don't usually use borderline, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to mark 1 inch as my borderline. Now after marking that 1 inch, I'm going to get my my half length measurement, because we are going to be working with the upper bodies. So I'm going to mark my half length, which is 17 inches. I've gone ahead to mark my 17 inches. Measure your half length, whatever that your half length is, you can go ahead and mark it. So I would have just gone ahead and used already drafted basic bodies, but I just want you guys to follow me. Then after that, I'm going to mark my bust point. After my bust point, measure my under bust, which is 13 inches. So after my under bust, I'm going to measure my arm size, which is my arm divided by 2, my arm size divided by 2, whatever I have, I'm going to mark it. After that, I'm going to label everything so that we don't mix anything up. So I'm going to go ahead and divide my shoulder by 2, whatever I have, I'm going to add it. Then divide my shoulder by 2 the same way I did on my shoulder. I'm going to do that on my arm side. So after that, from my shoulder, I'm going to do my shoulder slope, come down from my shoulder with 1 inch. Then from my shoulder slope, I just measured the middle of my shoulder to my arm side. Then from there, I went in with 0.5 inches, then connect to my bust measurement. That was how I got my arm size. Then after that, I'm going to mark my neck. I use 3.5 by 3.5. If you want to get your accurate neck measurement, go ahead and do your bust circumference divided by 16 plus 0.5. That is going to give you your basic neck measurement. So I've gone ahead to connect my neck and my shoulder slope. Then this is me adding my body measurements and adding my seam allowance, so you don't misunderstand it. So this is me adding my body measurement, and I'm using just 2 inches seam allowance because I'm going to be working with this pattern, right? So that's why I'm just adding allowance to it at once. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my dart. Now remember, whenever you want to take your measurements, please don't forget to measure your nipple to nipple measurements. I'm going to use the word nipple to nipple so you understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to measure my nipple to nipple measurements. So my own nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches. So I'm going to divide it by 2, which is going to give me 4 inches. I'm going to mark it. Then I'm going to mark it also on my under bust, then on my bust point, which is my apex. So from my bust point, I'm going to come down with 1 inch. Then that's where I'm going to connect my dart to. So I'm not going to okay, for the sake of this class, we are going to let our dart touch our bust point, because that's the points where we want to start manipulating from. So I'm going to do my darting of 0.75 and 0.75, which is going to be a total of 1.5 for my dart intake. I'm using 1.5 for this dart. So I've taken 0.5 on this side, 0.75 on this side, 0.75 on the other side. So I'm just trying to cross check my measurement, because I think I didn't measure 0.75 on the other side very well. So I've gone ahead to connect my measurements. Then the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut out. Now why I'm cutting out like this is because I want to fold it. You can see me folding the dart. Yes, I want to fold the dart, then before I can be able to just cut it. So I like folding my darts like this before I cut. So I'm going to go ahead and trim out all the excesses we have here. I'm going to trim that out before we start manipulating. Now one thing about that manipulation that you need to know is that it's actually very easy, and we are going to be doing at least 7 to 8 different darts on this particular video. So we are going to start now. Our starting point, we are going to use this center dart as our starting point. If you wish, you can use your shoulder dart or your arm side dart. So the first dart I'm going to manipulate it to is called the French dart. Now from your waistline, you have to go up with 1 inch. You can see the way I measured it. Go up with 1 inch. Now connect it to that your first dart, to your apex. Make sure that it's touching the end of that your first dart. Then after that, you can go ahead and remove the dart. You have to cut the dart open. You can see the way I'm cutting it open. You go ahead and remove the dart entirely, like you cut it out open entirely. Then you now go ahead and slash the new dart that we want to create. You can see how I'm slashing it, and you have to slash it to the end. It doesn't mean that you should cut it open like that, but even if you cut it open, go ahead and tape it back. So but you don't really need to cut it open, just leave a little bit of the paper there. Then you are going to fold it. You see the way I closed the other dart, and that's the way you are just going to fold it to that side. Automatically what we have done is we have removed that center dart, and we now have a new dart which is called French dart. Remember, from your waist, go up with 1 inch. Now I'm going to tape that down. I'm going to tape that our face dart out, because automatically we don't need it again. Now this particular dart, can you use it to stitch? Yes, you can. There are some certain styles that you want to sew. You might want to use this dart. You can use it, but the next thing you are going to do is you are going to fill it back in case you want to use it, or maybe you want to use it to sew. Now this is how you are going to fill it back, so that you just have the allowance there, and when you want to stitch, you just go ahead and stitch it back. So now you have to get a piece of pattern paper, place it under the dart, then make sure you secure it down properly. Yes, you have to secure it so it doesn't move, and so it doesn't reduce your dart or add to it. So you have to secure it properly. See the way I'm trying to say. So after securing it properly, please don't forget that I said you should secure it properly. After securing it properly, you are just going to fold. You see the way I'm folding mine? You are going to carefully fold it out like this. You see the way I'm trying to fold it? I'm being very careful about it. Now that allowance that I added there is what I was trying to fold out. You see the way I folded it? Now you have to get your tracing wheel. Then you now use your tracing wheel to trace it out. You can see what I'm doing. You have to trace whatever you have there out. So I kind of traced it the wrong way, so I had to like fold it again and trace it again. Do you see what I was doing? So you see, I'm going to connect what I have there to my pattern. You can see the shape. Now the next thing you're going to do now is to trim this out. When you trim it out, you can be able to use the dart to stitch. So what you're going to do is, because this video is getting too long, I'm going to be posting this batch by batch. So